Let's continue then with our rolling coverage in the build-up to Budget 2026. Take you straight to our live position in Cape Town, where we find SABC News anchor Nompumelelo Siziba, who's ventilating some of those expectations, Nompu, and amongst those is this question around the concept of tax justice, such an important issue in this country, especially when you consider what the sticking points were this time last year.
Thank you so much, Nompu. Of course, all eyes will be on Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana when he delivers his budget speech this afternoon. Of course, there's going to be a lot of talking points. Whether is he going to increase the zero basket rated processes in order to actually address the issue of the high rising costs of living. Again, also issues of supporting small businesses, as well as will we see a rapid increase in social grants and the like. And for more now, I'm going to join by the ANC MP and more importantly, the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Finance, Dr. Joe Maswanganyi. Thank you so much for your time. Firstly, let's start here. Last year, we saw a dramatic opposition to the budget from some members of the GNU. Do you expect the same this year, or is the GNU in unity?
Thanks, Bulelani. I don't think there will be drama this year. I believe that the parties in the GNU prioritize this national interest above party interest. We are serious about the country, where we have to talk about the economic growth, and we have seen positive development so far. The credit rating has gone up. We are now at BB as in terms of the credit rating. We have seen the South African economy going above the economy of Nigeria and Egypt. So we are the biggest economy in the continent. We have seen also the rand strengthening, which means that our imports are much cheaper than ever before. We have seen positive statistics coming from States SA when it comes to employment. The FATF grey listing has been lifted out of South Africa. But we expect more, as we have said in the intro, in terms of social protection, in terms of more jobs being created, which can come through beneficiation and other areas like manufacturing, which has to be strengthened.
Let's talk about the issue of the high rising cost of living in the country. A lot of consumers and households are actually under pressure. What advice would you give the finance minister in terms of coming to address those kinds of issues?
I think that the minister is addressing that issue together with the South African Reserve Bank. The interest rates have been going down, which means that the cost of borrowing is getting lower. Inflation is going down. More has to be done to augment the efforts of the South African Reserve Bank and what the minister is doing. The issue of jobs, of course, as I've said, is what young people will be expecting. Last week, we had a session with the Minister of Small Business, Honorable Stella Ndabeni, and she rolled out many projects that are assisting young people out there. More has to be done to assist rural women who are in business, people with disability. And then Minister of Trade and Investment has given us a report of what he has done together with China, opening up for our products in that country. We have seen the AGOA being extended. We believe in these areas they are going to bring more revenue, more jobs. But what should be emphasized, which has been a topic for many years, is the issue of beneficiation. Because for us to have a strong industrial policy is when we beneficiate the products we have. South Africa is very rich when it comes to mineral deposit. South Africa is quite rich when it comes to agricultural products. But where we are lacking is not beneficiating those products.
Lastly, the issue of debt service costs remains a big challenge for the state. Do you expect an austerity budget?
We don't expect an austerity budget. This budget should talk more about rolling out infrastructure, bringing the private sector to invest in infrastructure, in logistics, in water, in electricity or energy as a whole, so that in those areas, because they are labor intensive, it will enable jobs to be created. Deal with the issue of Tonga Hewlett, which is facing liquidation in KwaZulu-Natal, because it's one of the biggest job creators in that part of the country. The steel industry is facing challenges, but we have realized that the cabinet is intervening through IDC and other entities that are there in government to try to save jobs and the economy of those areas of the Vaal, KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga.
All right, thank you so much. That's where we leave it, Dr. Joe Maswanganyi. I'm going to bring in now Thembi Msane, the spokesperson of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Basically, the GNU appears to be in unity this year. They will be passing the budget. As the EFF, what's your expectation from the Finance Minister?
Well, we are expecting nothing less than a stimulus budget which seeks to invest more in infrastructure, rebuilding our factories. As you may have seen, a lot of factories are shutting down, like your Volkswagen has left. We are seeing factories that are going to be retrenching our people. So we're expecting nothing less than a stimulus budget. And I hope that he has realized that the equitable share model is not working for South Africa. You cannot keep on allocating more funds to national and provincial level when the service delivery, which is the municipal level, is not getting any funding. That's why we are having a crisis of water. That's why we are having a crisis of dilapidating roads. That's why municipalities can't even create employment because of this equitable share model of investing. Also, what we expect to hear from him is how is he going to adjust? It's about time now he adjusts the income tax bracket, because as South Africans keep earning increase in a salary, but the bracket of tax, if it's not adjusted, all the money that you get goes back to the tax. Also, we hope he's not going to play the stance of increasing a VAT, which we saw last year, cause a serious instability even in the GNU. We also hope to hear if he needs to address the issue of how is he going to fund the elections. Yourselves as SABC, the National Treasury, just when we were busy with the SONA, they rejected the 120 million which seeks to cover elections. And for us as the EFF, that simply says that they seek to bar the non-service delivery that is happening, where now the national broadcaster cannot be able to go and highlight to the public the failures of the current GNU government. Also, he needs to tell us how are they going to fund the deployment of the SANDF to Western Cape, Gauteng and the Eastern Cape.
All right, thank you so much, Thembi Msane, spokesperson of the EFF. Of course, there's going to be a lot of talking points, and as the morning goes on, we will be bringing you more political parties.